Except where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
So y'all probably heard about this story where a black teen, and some people are saying that the guy's actually not black, they're saying he's Latino. In my opinion, a lot of people who are Latino are black because that's an ethnic group. And ethnicity and culture is not a race. But anyway, they're saying that the fact that he was made to cut his dreads was racist because the referee who made him cut his dreads is a racist. And there's confirmation that the referee said something racist to someone else, and that someone else body slammed the referee for saying the racist statement. But in this instance, in my opinion, I don't think it was necessarily racist because in wrestling, I know that you have to have your hair a certain length so that it doesn't interfere with your opponent. But from a functional fighting standpoint, if you have long hair, people can grab your hair. So it actually can hinder you too. So unless I'm there, I'm not going to necessarily say that just because they made him cut his dreadlocks, that it was a white racist who did it for racial reasons. Now, this is the thing. This is what I call don't give them an excuse. Because if you are, especially if you're in a sport like wrestling, if you're in a combat sport where you're supposed to have hair regulation length and people may be racist, which some people may be racist, you should follow the rules to a T because as soon as they find any wiggle room where they can come and, come at you in an aggressive manner, racially, they're going to do it. Okay? So, I didn't make this video to victim blame or try to excuse the racist or try to attack the racist. I'm using this issue as a jump off point for something I do know about. Because I didn't wrestle and I've never coached wrestling. So I've never been a wrestling competitor, so that's not my lane. So I'm going to stay out of that lane, and I'm going to put a link in a video, but to a video below that's on YouTube that addresses that lane, where that YouTuber knows about wrestling. But since this is a martial arts channel first, and the closest thing I do and that I'm able to coach to wrestling is judo and taekwondo. Judo definitely, taekwondo not so close to wrestling. I am going to talk about how hair length can interfere with judo and wrestling competitions and training. For judo, nobody's going to make you cut your hair or anything like that in judo. At most, they'll make you wrap it up or tie it up just so it won't be in your way. Okay? But where your hair length can get in the way for judo, I'm going to talk about that first as that's the closest to wrestling, is this. When you're on the mat, and if you have the type of mats that have Velcro, the sticky part of the Velcro, the part that clings, that will catch your hair. That will catch your hair. It's going to get caught. I don't care if it's African hair or not. It's going to get caught. And I'm going to have to stop your training. And we're going to have to take time pulling your hair out of the little Velcro thing. So that's why when people come and I tell them your hair is kind of long and you need to tie it up, it may get caught on the mat. Now, I don't force you not to come on the mat. I warn you. And see, a lot of people are they're really stubborn when it comes to their hair. I understand, you got pride in your appearance and your hair is part of your appearance. But when your hair is too long, or even if you have like a big afro when you're doing judo or you got big puffy hair, your hair is going to get caught in part of the mats that have Velcro. And it's only a matter of time. I don't do anything to make it happen. It just happens. It's going to happen. So you need to tie your hair up. If I tell you to tie your hair up, you should tie your hair up. Okay? Just like when people wear a lot of jewelry, we definitely will force the issue with the jewelry. We will make you take the earrings out. Okay? Like in the situation where the wrestler, the woman came out with the scissors and cut, we're not going to do that in judo. At least I know I'm not going to do that in judo. I'm not going to go cut your hair for judo. And I'm not going to do that for a class. But jewelry, I can make you take that out. And if you don't take it out, what I would do is make you put sports tape over your jewelry so that it tapes to you. I will never forget the time you were there when that woman, I was rapping with the woman. This wasn't a competition either. This was class. She had a body piercing ring, and I know she'd been told before that she has to take her body piercings out. She didn't want to take it out, and I went in for the pen. She mounted on top.
Can't get out.
Yeah, I rolled her off. I mean, she was doing good, and then I just went in for a regular pen, and because my body brushed up against her navel ring, it caused a lot of pain, and she just started screaming. I thought I'd heard her. She started screaming, and just the teacher said she didn't tape she probably didn't tape her ring, and she didn't. She said she didn't. So after that, she started wearing sports tape over the navel ring. Eventually, she started taking it out. Where this is really a bad thing is for kids, because kids' hair, especially children, their hair gets caught in the Velcro part of the mat. They're trying to do a pen or somebody's pinning them, and look at how my head is caught like this. Their hair and their neck gets hyperextended on the edge of the mat, and you can't get it out, so you have to stop, and then we have to take it out. Okay? So that makes them get hurt. Now, since I said this is martial arts first. We're going to move out of combat sport for a second. We're going to go into martial arts as in self-defense. Because I think that martial arts should be included in self-defense, even though a lot of times it's not. If you have a lot of hair, I can grab it. If you got the big dreads, I am not afraid when somebody has dreads. It does not make me uncomfortable at all. Because I know that if you try to fight me, you giving me a nice handle. I'm grabbing your hair. And I'm going to pull you down. I'm going to hold you in position right down here like I'm doing down block. And I'm coming right in for my punch. If you have hair, it can get in your eyes. Okay? So, long hair is definitely a disadvantage in a real fight. So if you want to have long hair, and I don't discourage you from wearing dreads. In fact, when I retire, it's going to look silly is because I'm going bald. I'm going to have me either a half row when I get older, or I'm going to have me half locks. It's going to be like scalp, and then there's going to be dreads coming down. Because that's just how I'm going to roll. But I'm going to know that if I'm growing dreads, I can't be talking trash to people. The reason why I don't have dreads now is not because I want to be a sellout. It's because I don't have time to do dreads. Dreads and braids take time to maintain properly. Because I looked into it. I asked people about how they have good dreads. Man, that takes a lot of time. I don't have time to be doing that right now. But if I'm not working full time, then I got time to put the lemon juice in there and all the other oils and things to keep it well oiled and conditioned so that it looks good. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit in a chair for 8 hours to get really good braids in my hair. I'm not doing that. So I don't think it's bad, keep in mind, but I don't have time for that. My time is really constrained right now. So that's how the dread thing is bad. Long hair can be bad for you when you are doing something that's grappling oriented. People can grab you in a real fight. When you're training, it can get caught in a mat. It can get caught in your own uniform. You can be laying down trying to do something and you end up laying on your own hair. I've seen it. And I have to stop. And I hate to be I have to let them learn from themselves. But even when I give them directions, they still refuse to do it. And they don't stop unless they feel uncomfortable. Now, believe it or not, for Taekwondo, thankfully the way a lot of the helmets are made, because it has spaces up along the hair, up along the top of the head, people put their helmets on, they can take their dreads, pull them through the back of the helmet, and then they can hang there like that and they can still have the helmet on. But if you're not using a helmet that has space up here, if you're using one of the stuff that kind of looks more like motorcycle helmets, I forgot what those helmets are called, stuff that looks more like samurai helmets, the hair that you have on your head takes up space in the helmet. So that means if it's a small child, I may have to use an adult-sized helmet just to get their hair and them in the helmet so that they can have head protection. Now keep in mind, of course, we now know with CTE that those helmets do not protect your brain. There's really, honestly, it's really more for show. It can stop the surface damage, but if somebody's really penetrating, the force really skips the surface of the helmet and goes right into the brain. So it can protect the skull, it can protect the skin. It's really not even protecting the skull, really. It can protect the skin and it can give you some semblance of protection. It can make someone be consciously aware not to hit you in the head or to just use. If they're using control, it's good because they can stop their control at the outer part of the helmet instead of having to stop it here. So instead of stopping it here, the helmet will be here, they can stop it here. Okay, or if something just gets through, if they slip up, it's going to give you a minor bit of protection. Okay, but in instances where people want to use the helmet to go with a little bit more contact, the only helmet I've really seen that does anything, in my opinion, is an actual motorcycle helmet. And I was with the teacher who he actually used stuff that was actually like motorcycle helmets, so people could go full contact. That was many years ago, and that did offer like quite a bit of protection. But if you have a huge afro, or you have dreads, or you have even long, non-African hair that's a lot, that's really long, your hair is taking up space in the helmet. So like I said, a child may have to use an adult size headgear protection. What is an adult going to use? Matter of fact, if you're adults and you have a lot of hair and you compete, why don't you please post below and tell me how you get around that? I know it's going to be a problem, but from my experience, it's a problem. So cutting the hair is not just people who are racistly Eurocentric going after people who are non-racistly Afrocentric. It is literally and truly about safety. It is. So when we're telling you, well, I'm not even going to speak for anybody else. If I'm coaching you or instructing you, and I'm telling you that there's a problem with your hair, I'm telling you that because I'm worried about your safety. Okay, now if you choose to think, see, this is the thing. If you choose to think that I'm just brainwashed and that I'm just an Uncle Tom and I just want to, some of these comments that people have left on my videos, while I find them humorous, I cannot repeat here. If you just think I've just got my head in league with, I'll just say in league with, quote, the white man, end quote. It's fine for you to think that. I may not like that you think that, but you are free to think that because we are free to think whatever we want. But it's really about safety. I'm saying something because I'm concerned that it's going to cause a problem for you. And in what I ultimately like to do, where I like to integrate striking and grappling, even if we can get around it with the striking, because like I said, with your pretty much straight up foam dipped headgear for Taekwondo that's usually used, there's enough openings on the top that we can, you can tie your dreads up and we can fit the helmet around the dreads and that can be secure for you. We can do that, but I know when we switch over to judo sparring, and we're not doing Taekwondo sparring, or we're doing Cecil Ryu sparring that has punching, kicking, throwing, pinning, it's going to be a problem because your dreads may come out. Fortunately, since there are no Cecil Ryu competitions, it's only going to be an issue in class because you're just going to have to stop your momentum and we're going to have to let you tie your hair back up and get in. But like I said, especially with children, your hair is going to get stuck and caught in some part of the mat and it's going to hurt when I have to remove it. In fact, what really made me think of this before I saw the whole racially charged incident. One of the kids that I was coaching, she has a lot of hair, and the helmet, it wasn't the foam dipped helmet, so she could pull her hair through that. It had Velcro in there, and some of the Velcro got caught on her hair because she has a lot of hair, and it wasn't like braided to lay down, so that she could have the big cornrows going back. See, if you have cornrows going down like this on the back, that would actually be better because the helmet would get on there and it could fit around and it's not going to catch. What really catches is if you have dreads, if you have the afro, you have like afro puffs. That's what's really going to get caught on the Velcro. And again, just to reiterate before I close this video, from a self-defense standpoint, if you got hair, somebody's grabbing it. If you wearing jewelry around your neck, somebody, especially a thick chain, that's a handle. Somebody's grabbing it. If you wearing a hoodie around your head, somebody's grabbing it. So people are not always telling you to watch or be aware of those clothes for racist reasons. One more time, there is also an issue of safety. Now, that being said, of course, if somebody's racist, they're going to take racist pleasure in criticizing you for that. But you got to remember, racists just like doing something to you that you don't like anyway. So even if you were, conforming, they'll just find something else to harass you on because they're racist, and there's nothing you can do about. There's nothing you can do about what they do other than expose something when they cross the line. And remember, the referee who's at the center of this controversy, according to all news sources I saw, he did get body slammed for using the N-word. So, justice, I guess, was served in advance. So, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people like to talk about the martial arts. Even though it's kind of productive for me to promote other channels, I will. I'm going to put a link below to this video because this guy's really got a good handle on what's going on with this issue. And peace. And as always, thank you for your time.